everybody. Welcome into our NBA TV studios. It's game time. I'm Kristen Ledlow. He's our Hall of Famer, Grant Hill. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
To you all. And to you, Grant.
Oh, thanks. And Happy New Year to you as well.
Thank you. We got to get right to the highlight. Enough of that. It's a 5-game Tuesday night in the NBA. Earlier on NBA TV, the Raptors hosted the Jazz, looking to improve upon their second-best start in franchise history. That was Kawhi Leonard in the first half, but both he and Pascal Siakam heating up in the second half. From deep as well. A career-high 28 points for Pascal.
Yeah, Pascal came out, was effective, efficient, much like Kawhi, and they just put it on them early and often throughout this game.
The Raptors would lead the way 67-57 at that point in the third. Then Kawhi going off in the quarter. 19 points, set a perfect 7 of 7 from the field.
Yeah, so efficient, so good at putting the ball on the floor, getting the shot he wants, putting the pressure and attacking the defense. What a night for Leonard.
And they'd keep that lead, a 10-point lead after 3 quarters, 95-85. But Jay Crowder, who was back in the lineup for the Utah Jazz, along with Ricky Rubio, was keeping Utah close. Rubio to Crowder for 3, then Mitchell dropping it off to Crowder for the deep 3. He had 30 points in this game.
And great awareness, finding the hot hand, and Crowder keeping them in the game here in the fourth quarter.
But just too much Kawhi on a career night. Look at that, the tough reverse layup on Rudy Gobert nonetheless.
Yeah, this right here, this is not easy. Great concentration, touch, and finish.
45 points in this game for Kawhi. 16 of 22 from the field, 13 of 17 from the free throw line. That would put the Raptors up 118-109, and they'd go on to win it, 122-116. Now, this is the game of the day, Wednesday at 4 Eastern here on NBA TV. It was, of course, a career night for both Kawhi Leonard with his 45 and Pascal Siakam with his 28 in the absence of Kyle Lowry. Now, this was Siakam's 10th game this season with at least 20, and he joined us after the game. I want to talk about some of your highlights on your career high night, but I don't think that anything's going to top the little dance that you did before the game. That might be the highlight of the entire evening. Kind of feeling yourself these days, huh?
Hey, New Year, we got to start the new year right.
Oh, you're strutting out there. Okay. All right, Pascal. All right.
Well, you certainly started it off right. How about this, though, Pascal? This is your 10th game this season with at least 20 points. You only had one such game in your first 2 years in the NBA. What is it that is about? Sorry, we're still watching the dance, and I love it. What is it, though, about your game that you feel has improved most?
I think, just my ball handling, being able to have the ball in my hands more and make plays for others. It gave me opportunities to drive lanes and find my teammates. I think it kind of opened up the game for me a little bit.
When you talk about your offense and driving the basketball, talk a little bit about how much, maybe Kawhi has helped you by being there, your relationship with Serge, the defensive prowess that the three of you have out on the floor. Defensively, it looks like you three can shut down any opponent anytime you want to. How does that feel out on the floor, being able to shut down opponents defensively, but yet also being able to turn it on offensively?
I think we pride ourselves on defense. That's what that's the type of team we are. And obviously having Kawhi, who's a great defensive player, a guy that you can learn from every day. His hands and the way he uses his length. I try to just learn from him, watch him a little bit, and then obviously Serge protecting the rim for us is big. And for me, it's just continue to work on defense because I know that's what got me here, and I know I'm going to keep just playing hard, trying to get stops, and everything else is going to come.
Pascal, just. I watch you guys play. It seems like you got a little more spacing, a little more pace. Is your offensive sets a little different under Nick Nurse? And how does it fit you, the offense that Toronto's running now?
It's great for me. I like to run, and as soon as we get the ball, we're running. And we have a lot of shooters on the team. Guys, it opens up the floor for guys like me, Kawhi, driving. So it's great. I like the pace. I like what Nick Nurse is doing.
Yeah. I got a question for you, and it's kind of off the beaten path here. Serge has this cooking show. I put your head up now.
There we go.
And I just want to know, like, have you been over to the house to be served a meal? And
unfortunately, I was there one time.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, he's not really good at cooking, but I think he's funny though. He's funny, so it makes up for it.
Wait, how can he not be good at cooking and he's got a cooking show?
It's just a cooking show, not a good cooking show, right?
Yeah. He just got about like 3 ingredients. You know, it's always salt and pepper. The only thing he put in all the food, so it's definitely tough to eat.
Well, we're not mad at him. Personality saves most of our jobs as well. But Pascal, I've got to ask you before we go, because it's January now, because you have considered yourself an underrated player in the NBA, because February is next month. How big a motivator is perhaps an All-Star appearance?
I think obviously for me, a kid coming from Cameroon, you know, started basketball when he was 16 years old, you know, having a chance to even, you know, like just my name being out there is a blessing. And for me, I'm not really worried about that. You know, I just want to continue to get better. I know, you know, the sky's the limit for me, and I just want to continue to work hard. And you know, whatever happens, happens.
Well, we'll worry about it for you, and we'll tell the fans to vote for you as well. I mean, come on, you got the opportunity right now. Pascal, thanks for joining us, and congrats on such a big night. And he can say that All-Star is not a motivator, but his game perhaps speaks otherwise. What's most impressive to you about the improvement that he's made?
Well, I mean, I think, you know, it's a similar sort of path that Kawhi Leonard traveled early in his career. Came into the league as a defensive player, has great length, and just has worked on his game. And in year 3 now has emerged as a reliable, trusted scorer, sort of guy who can do everything offensively and defensively for the Toronto Raptors. And this is important, particularly as Lowry has struggled a bit with his injury and he's out right now with a bad back. But Siakam has emerged as someone that they can count on, and that's huge. And he talked about in that interview, you know, learning from Kawhi, learning from him, watching how he uses his length and his hands and just all the little nuances to the game. And so a great example for him to have. A guy who's, you know, MVP in the finals, a guy who's, you know, going to be in that conversation this year as a potential league MVP. But Siakam stepping up, and, you know, you ask that question, it's conceivable. He might actually be an All-Star. He's having that kind of season, and if Toronto can continue to be at the top and possibly, you know, be at the top of the standings where they've been most of the time here thus far this season, he has a chance.
Well, it was also a career night for Kawhi Leonard with 45 points. So let's see how he did it. He was 16 of 19 from two-point land. He was also a perfect 8 for 8 in the restricted area. And you, Grant Hill, having perfected the mid-range game, seemed like the perfect person to ask to break down his night.
Yeah, perfected is right.
I felt like it was the right word.
No, but Kawhi Leonard, I love the diversity in shot making. He's not settling for just long jump shots. He's getting to the rim, as you talked about. He's attacking in transition. Of course, his mid-range game is on point, but he's constantly forcing the issue. You're having the defense stay on their heels. You have to guess sort of what you're going to do and how to stop him. And he got it going right there. He was efficient, as you talked about. But everything was moving forward with force, as you saw in that highlight package.
And we may not be talking enough about their defense because they're turning that high-powered defense into offensive opportunities.
No question. I mean, their defense is, I think, really one of the underrated parts of their game. And they have length, they have athleticism, they have trust out there on the floor, they have experience mixed in with youth. And you see right here, Greg Monroe plays this pick and roll perfect, and they secure the rebound and get out on the break where they're so talented. And right here, Anunoby just making the effort, getting the steal, leads to an easy basket in transition. You can't defend against that if you're Utah. Turn the ball over. And, of course, right here, once again, getting into the paint, active hands, Danny Green, and getting out in transition for the easy basket. And I love this play right here. Greg Monroe, big guy, contesting at the rim without fouling, forcing a tough shot. And once again, you're off to the races, starting the fast break. Getting baskets in transition off your defense, a layup right here, is one of the recipes for success for these Raptors.
Well, we can talk a lot about the Toronto Raptors, and it is, of course, warranted. But meanwhile, the Milwaukee Bucks are off to their best start since 1990, leading the Eastern Conference this many games into the season for the first time since 1981. Now, Tuesday night, they welcomed the Detroit Pistons to town. That was one of Diesel's dope nominees. Are you kidding me?
And it seems like he's doing this every night. Like it's amazing.
And there's nothing to be done about this because look how far he can reach back, but how strong he is to propel forward. Either way, Brook Lopez is staying far out of the paint these days. There's 3 from him.
Yeah, no, he got hot out here, and they kept finding him. But Brook Lopez having a great season for the Bucks.
Chris Middleton with a turnaround fadeaway jumper. The Bucks leading the way by 15 points at that point, 55-40. Then Brook Lopez with the block, and it's headed the other way. Malcolm Brogdon to Giannis. I mean, well, what are you going to do about that? Nothing. Giannis had 15 points, 8 rebounds, and 7 assists in this game. And, well, it was more of the same in the second half from the Bucks. Middleton spinning into the lane, the floater plus the foul. He'd make that free throw and finish with 22 points and 5 rebounds. Both he and Eric Bledsoe effective, especially late in this game.
Yeah, and you love right here, they're just attacking, taking turns on defense, and Brook Lopez from deep.
Like, look at that.
Wow.
He had 25 points in this game. He was 7 of 12 from 3.
Wow.
When did this happen?
It happened like in the last 2 or 3 years.
Yeah.
That'll be a good one.
That's right. Saturday on NBA TV, we've got the Beasts in the East going head-to-head in Milwaukee. The Bucks are welcoming the Raptors to town. Your coverage starts with Game Time right here at 7 Eastern. And after the break, we're going to continue our trip around the league with highlights on this 5-game Tuesday night, including Joel Embiid's return to the Sixers lineup. Don't go away.